The following program contains flash photography. Viewers' discretion is advised.
From an inglorious, excruciating, heart-wrenching, forceful exit by the slave merchants through the infamous door of no return from the African soil centuries ago, to this glorious, heroic, and triumphal entry. These are diasporans from North, Central, and South America, Asia, and Europe that have come to know and be a part of the ancestral lineage at this year's Badagry Diaspora Festival. At a symposium held as part of the long list of activities marking the event. Speaking on behalf of the returnees, the leader of the delegation, Reverend David Anderson, spoke on the purpose of this emotional, historic, and symbolic visit to their fatherland.
There's an old African proverb that says, "From afar, I thought he was a monster. When he got closer, I thought he was an animal. When he got closer, I realized he was a human being." Maybe they're animals. Or maybe, okay, they're humans. But when we're face to face, we realize that we're brothers and sisters. Distance demonizes, but comprehension begins with conversation. And so when you and I have a conversation one-on-one, when we can close the distance between us, we can begin to learn how to love one another, how to listen to one another, how not to judge one another, and how to be the people that God wants us to be. So by bringing people here where we can see face to face, not only are you my brother or my sister, but you can honestly broker relationships and guarantee economically or emotionally. Had I not had a relationship with Abike, I would not have come and brought people. Now it's not just my story, because before they said, go back and tell your story. I went back and I told my story to thousands of people. And as a result, look, there are people here today. So what can I do? What can we do? We can tell our story. Because if somebody goes to Africa and then comes back to America and they say, guess what? It's beautiful. The people are beautiful. They welcomed us home. The music was great. The food was great. The people are us. They're our brother. They're our sister. Then the fear that other people have because of distance demonizing you now becomes better because we are now having conversation. If parts of those stereotypes are not true in some way, shape, or form. In other words, there is corruption in Nigeria. There are cheats in Nigeria. Now guess what? There's corruption in American business, there's corruption in American politics, and there's corruption with American people. So it doesn't matter what continent you are, you got human beings and they all are sinful people. So then what I have to do, if I'm gonna do a business deal with you, or if you're gonna do a business deal with me, we've gotta build a relationship of trust. And then we have to have metrics and measurements to keep our contract with one another. Now there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, that will hear of Badagry. I never heard of Badagry. Now I cannot stop thinking about Badagry.
Other speakers at the gathering hammered on the uniqueness and evolution of the black race since the end of this dark era.
Dr. Anderson mentioned something about identity, which I think is central. Struggling with an identity that is not clearly defined is like wrestling with one's humanity, really. So I, even though I don't understand fully what this means to you and the team, I sense that this means quite a lot to you. The biggest kinds of chains that can hold any people down is the chain of the mind. Okay, so the development of Africa is going to come from we Africans, both at home and in diaspora, thinking about our problems, about our world and how we interpret it, and that's where the potential for development in Africa will come from.
There is business climate here. Do you want to talk about health? Is it about education? Is it about building the infrastructure? There are ideas, and you can reconnect in different ways. Digitally, you can connect with us on a daily basis. Contribute to discussion on social media, participate on TV. We now have live programs, so you can connect. It does not have to be totally physical, but we can do that one.
There needs to be a total mindset. I want to tell every every American delegate here today that not every Nigerian that you see is a cheat. Because, I'm about to travel across the shore of Africa, and I see the way we are being treated out there. Not every black person you see, and we need to change that dictate. There are young people, there are young Africans today that are committed into developing Africa, that committed into changing the dictate and the narrative that every young man you see from this part of the world is a cheat or is a scam or is a drug dealer, and become something big that can start an enterprise to reduce unemployment in Africa and in this part of the world.
Connect to Africa, back to connect to Africa, back to the connect to Badagry, back to the connect to Badagry, back to the connect to Nigeria, connect to Badagry, connect to Africa, connect to Gambia, back to the connect to Badagry, back to the.
To mark the end of this symposium, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Relations and the Diaspora led the jubilant returnees to the Palace of the Accra of Badagry, Diaholu Menitoyi I, where they were christened and some coronated according to customs and traditions of Africa.
You can taste and hold it. Just have a taste.
Tiffany Williams, you are Shenanyo. Shenanyo.
Shenanyo. Mine will be good. My life will be good.
Mine. You are Tekla Brava, Semante.
You will not be put to shame. You will not be put to shame. You will not be put into trouble. You will not be put to shame. Anytime you want to go back to Johnny Massey, the spirits of the ancestors have accepted that also. Congratulations, sir. It will be well with you, sir. It will be well with you, sir. It shall be well with you, sir. And that is for the hand, the neck, and the arm. The journey is good. The journey is good. That is the name of the children's title given to you. The king is giving his blessing. Our way is giving his blessing. Our way is giving his blessing. Wow, after the blessing. After the blessing, my child. Has been good. Being in diaspora has been good. It has straight back his roots.
Speaking with Events Diary, some diasporans expressed their joy at a dream come true.
It feels amazing to be a chief and to be in Badagry from the diaspora. I pray for you and I grant God's favor to all of you. I'm so excited about my new name, Mauitin. Means God is alive, yes? So that is my new name. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I brought 18 people. Next time I want to double it and bring more.
This is something that my people have been disconnected from for 400 years. So indeed, I am beyond words. For this is not only an honor for me, it's an honor for my ancestors. It's an honor for the legacy of all things African, both on the continent and in the diaspora. It's a wonderful, magnificent feeling. What a blessing. It's my hope and expectation that you're gonna see so much of me and so much of the diaspora that we're gonna drive you guys crazy.
Next point of call for the returnees was this boat cruise to the infamous point of no return at Gurfu Kingdom, the exit point of no return for slaves centuries ago. The delegation also had a stopover at this symbolic attenuation well, widely believed to be the architect memory lost to the slaves immediately after consumption.
The well of memory lost. The way we came to this island, walking on the slave route, as soon as they get around here, they sit the enslaved people, our ancestors. They'll sit them down somewhere there, and the overseer, the person in charge of the slaves, will come and fetch water from the well and give them to drink. They forget about home. Was the well drugged? Was it charmed? Well, from my opinion, the well was not just drugged, it was charmed. Some argue that no, the well was drugged. Imagine the pain of how they were chained on the slave ship, and they used to, now a slave ship have two decks, the upper deck and the lower deck. The Europeans, the 10-15 stay on the upper deck, while our ancestors were chained together in the lower deck. There they urinate on themselves, etc., etc.